Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have the honor of hearing from a guest of honor for this evening, Chairman of the 15th Finance Commission, Shri N.K. Singh.
Thank you very much. We begin by saying what a privilege it is to be in the company of the former Chief Justice of India, who has graced this occasion, with Shri XVth Singh, who comes not only as a great judicial mind, but with whom I share a personal relationship. To Shailendra Kumar, who has been the guiding force in all this journey of TIOL in persuading people of different sorts in not only accepting this award, but in many cases the daunting challenge of persuading them to be present physically wherever possible. So congratulations to you, Shailendra, and to your great team which is assisting you in this process. Like Shankar, I also want to make just one observation, two perhaps. One, the endearing relationship which I have with all the recipients today. Kishwar, you were not only a great support to Meghnad, with whom I shared many warm moments. Kishore, you may or may not know the jovial side of Meghnad when he was not necessarily in your company. For instance, at a time when both of us were part of the initial mentor group of the Nalanda University at its very conception, there was a very comic moment when Amartya, who was at that time the chairman of the mentor group, he was wanting to look for another successor. And he said that the possible three names which I have, he read those names out, which included the name of Meghnad Desai. And this had to be considered by the board of directors of that time of this mentor group. The moment Meghnad's name was taken, believe me, Kishwar, Meghnad characteristically made this great gesture, thumping out of the room and said, I cannot be party to a discussion which entails me, and left the room with a great flurry and with a glint in his eye, because he perhaps realized that perhaps it would be difficult to persuade him to accept the responsibilities after Amartya. And with so many evenings which we have spent together, Keshwar, at celebrating moments of great joy, celebrating his wit, his humor, and his anecdotal sense. I fondly remember him, Keshwar, and will miss him in multiple ways. I'm indeed proud that I share with you the view. I wish Meghnad was here to share this great moment with us. But you are keeping that legacy alive with the fervor Meghnad would have expected you to do. To Bimal Jalan, who I have known Bimal for a very, very long time too, much before he became in the illustrious position of the Chief Economic Advisor. When he was working, not many people know, very closely with late George Fernandez, when he was in the Industries Minister, and at that time Bimal had been brought in as an economic advisor in the Ministry of Industry. From that time onwards to the very end, which he had in his more official career, Bimal was a picture of stability, of equanimity, of sanity, and what is missing often in economists, with a degree of pragmatism on pursuing the art of the possible. I also enjoyed my several years with Meghnad, with Bimal, when both of us at the same time were members of parliament. I was a member from Bihar, and Bimal was a nominated member of parliament. And his contribution, whenever Bimal got up to speak, was heard with a degree of respect and with a degree of attention from parliamentarians who are unlikely to pay much attention to economists, with the degree of respect and attention which it deserved. So I'm very, very proud that Bimal has been honored, and he has also generously accepted. Of course, to Lord Nicholas Stern, God knows for how long I had known you, Nick, but your almost overpowering thing has been your friendship, and of course your love for India, and your faith in the future of India, your faith in what this country can achieve, a fervor which you continue to display in multiple ways. Indeed, Shailendra could have mentioned that the book which he mentioned, and now it's in the news because Bihar is undergoing another cycle of election. We both, Nick, if you recall, we wrote this book or edited this book on the new Bihar. And as I turned over the pages of that book, which we had jointly edited in 2013, I found that, not to my surprise, many of the things which we said then are valid today. Namely, Bihar's quest to mainstream its development and to move away fast enough to join the mainstream of Indian other fast-growing states, and to leave the rock bottom in terms of development and human development parameters. Considering the rich potential which Bihar has, some of which is now being explored in multiple ways in terms of its connectivity, harnessing its rich agriculture, the downstream agricultural processing industry with abundance of water, and who does provide Bihar this great opportunity in the next 5 or 6 years to join the middle income states of the Indian polity, and its quest to become a developed state, which is an understandable one, as India itself seeks to become a developed economy by 47. Shankar, we have shared a number of years of very deep friendship. We worked so closely together during India's balance of payments crisis. At that time, your equanimity, your judgment, in being able to guide decisions in impersonal, persuasive ways. One of the great things about Shankar, which I have admired, is that you never lost your patience even in very complex discussions. There was lack of evidence of any aggressiveness, but this was more than matched by your skillful persuasive skills. More often than not, Shankar, you had your way on most things which were under consideration. And the fact that you always somewhat understated your case, said it sharply, but without any degree of aggressiveness in pursuing that point of view, made a big qualitative difference. It is therefore, Shankar, only in the fitness of things that TIOL jury has found it worthy for you to be the recipient of this prestigious award. So that's all that I wanted to say about all the recipients of today. And I'm fortunate and privileged to be here because with each one of them, I have a long abiding and enduring friendship, which I hope will be last our mortal lives. Thank you very much.